The Kumbh Mela. It is a name that echoes with history, faith, and the sheer immensity of human devotion. Imagine a sea of humanity, millions upon millions converging on a single point, drawn by an ancient call. This is the Kumbh Mela, the largest peaceful gathering on earth, a testament to the enduring power of faith. Held every few years, rotating between 4 sacred cities in India, the Kumbh Mela is a time of pilgrimage, of ritual bathing, and of seeking blessings from the divine. Sadhus with ash-smeared bodies and dreadlocks flowing, families clad in vibrant colors, and the elderly seeking solace and blessings, all are drawn to this extraordinary event. The air crackles with an energy that is both exhilarating and humbling. It is a reminder of the power of belief to unite people from all walks of life, to transcend differences, and to create a fleeting city of faith. The origins of the Kumbh Mela are shrouded in mythology, with tales of gods and demons battling for a pot of celestial nectar. The Kumbh Mela is a journey, both physical and spiritual. For many, the Kumbh Mela is a once-in-a-lifetime pilgrimage, a chance to wash away sins and accumulate spiritual merit. Within the vast and vibrant tapestry of the Kumbh Mela, certain days stand out for their heightened spiritual significance. One such day is Mauni Amavasya, a day shrouded in sanctity and observed with profound reverence. This sacred day falls on the new moon day in the Hindu month of Magha, and is a time when the celestial bodies align to create an atmosphere of heightened spiritual energy. Mauni Amavasya translates to the new moon day of silence. On this day, devotees observe a strict vow of silence, abstaining from speaking even in whispers. This silence is not merely an act of abstention, it is a deliberate withdrawal of the senses, a turning inward to connect with the divine within. By silencing the external world, devotees aim to quiet the chatter of the mind and create a space for inner stillness and contemplation. The significance of Mauni Amavasya is deeply rooted in Hindu scriptures. Taking a dip in these sanctified waters during the Kumbh Mela on Mauni Amavasya is believed to cleanse one of all sins, purify the soul, and bestow blessings of health, wealth, and spiritual liberation. The act of bathing holds profound significance in Hindu rituals. It is not merely about physical cleansing but symbolizes spiritual purification, a washing away of past sins and negative karma. Water, in Hindu cosmology, is considered a powerful purifying element capable of cleansing both body and soul. And when this water flows from sacred rivers that are considered goddesses in their own right, the act of bathing takes on an even deeper meaning. The confluence of the Ganga, Yamuna, and the mythical Saraswati at Prayagraj, known as the Triveni Sangam, is considered the holiest of holies during the Kumbh Mela. It is here that millions converge, drawn by the belief that a dip in these sacred waters can wash away a lifetime's sins and set them on the path to liberation. The atmosphere at the Ghats is electric. Devotees chant mantras, offer prayers to the rising sun, and surrender themselves to the swirling currents of the river. The significance of the sacred dip extends beyond the physical act. It is a symbolic rebirth, a chance to start anew, to let go of the past, and to embrace the possibilities of the future. The Mahakumbh Mela of 2025, held at the sacred confluence of Prayagraj, was a spectacle of faith and devotion, drawing millions of pilgrims from across India and the world. The Mahakumbh, held once every 12 years, is considered the most auspicious of all Kumbh Melas, attracting the largest crowds and generating the greatest spiritual fervor. Here is a timeline of the key dates and events that mark this momentous occasion. January 14, 2025, Makar Sankranti. The Mahakumbh Mela commenced with the auspicious bathing day of Makar Sankranti. This day marks the sun's northward journey in the Hindu calendar, and is considered an auspicious time for spiritual practices. Millions of devotees took a dip in the holy waters of the Triveni Sangam, seeking blessings and purification. January 29, 2025, Mauni Amavasya. The second and most significant bathing day of the Mahakumbh Mela, Mauni Amavasya, witnessed an unprecedented surge of pilgrims. This day, dedicated to silence and spiritual reflection, is believed to be particularly auspicious for bathing in the sacred rivers. February 3, 2025, Vasant Panchami. Vasant Panchami, the festival of spring and knowledge, marked the third major bathing day of the Mahakumbh Mela.
The injured lay strewn across the bridge and the surrounding areas, while rescue workers struggled to reach them through the dense crowds. The stampede brought the festive atmosphere of the Mahakumbh Mela to a standstill, Eyewitness accounts painted a harrowing picture of the chaos and despair. The air was filled with the screams of the injured and the terrified cries of those searching for loved ones. The sheer volume of people created a bottleneck, and as the crowds pressed forward, a sense of panic gripped the masses. People were crushed underfoot, separated from loved ones, and swept away in the surging tide of humanity. What began as a day of spiritual seeking turned into a scene of unimaginable tragedy. The stampede occurred in the early hours of the morning, as millions converged on a narrow bridge leading to one of the main bathing ghats. As the sun rose over the holy city of Prayagraj, casting a golden glow on the millions gathered for the sacred bath, a wave of chaos and panic rippled through the crowds. Section 5. Tragedy strikes Prayagraj. The Mahakumbh Mela, a symbol of faith and unity, was tragically marred by a devastating stampede on January 29, 2025, the auspicious day of Mauni Amavasya.
Section 6. The Perfect Storm, Understanding the Surge. The tragic stampede at the Mahakumbh Mela 2025 sent shockwaves across India and the world. As the nation mourned the loss of innocent lives, questions arose about the factors that contributed to the tragedy. A confluence of circumstances, a perfect storm of faith, logistics, and human behavior led to the devastating events of that day. One primary factor was the sheer magnitude of the crowd present on Mauni Amavasya. This day, considered the most auspicious for bathing during the Kumbh Mela, attracted an unprecedented number of pilgrims, far exceeding initial estimates. The confluence of religious fervor and the desire to partake in this sacred ritual overwhelmed the available infrastructure and crowd management systems. Section 7. The Aftermath, A Nation Mourns. The aftermath of the Mahakumbh Mela stampede was a scene of devastation and grief. As news of the tragedy spread, a pall of gloom descended upon the nation. The joyous celebrations of faith were replaced by scenes of mourning and the heart-wrenching cries of those who had lost loved ones. The immediate aftermath was a blur of activity as rescue workers, volunteers, and medical personnel worked tirelessly to tend to the injured and recover the dead. Makeshift hospitals were set up to accommodate the overwhelming number of casualties, and appeals for blood donation saw an outpouring of support from across the country.
The government faced harsh criticism for the lapse in security and crowd control measures. Questions were raised about the adequacy of infrastructure, the preparedness of emergency services, and the lack of effective communication channels.
Section 8. Preventing Future Tragedies, A Shared Responsibility. The tragic stampede at the Mahakumbh Mela in 2025 underscored the critical need for proactive measures to prevent similar incidents at future mass gatherings. Ensuring the safety and well-being of millions of pilgrims requires a multi-pronged approach involving government agencies, religious authorities, and the public. One crucial step is implementing robust crowd management strategies. This includes conducting comprehensive risk assessments, establishing clear entry and exit routes, deploying adequate security personnel, and utilizing technology such as surveillance cameras and crowd monitoring systems to identify potential bottlenecks and manage crowd flow effectively. Infrastructure development is another critical aspect. This involves creating spacious bathing ghats, constructing wider access roads and bridges, and providing adequate lighting, sanitation facilities, and emergency medical services to accommodate the massive influx of pilgrims. Effective communication is key. Section 9. The Enduring Spirit of the Kumbh. The Mahakumbh Mela of 2025, despite being scarred by tragedy, stands as a testament to the enduring spirit of faith and the human capacity for resilience. The stampede, while a stark reminder of the importance of safety and planning, did not extinguish the flame of devotion that draws millions to the Kumbh. In the aftermath of the tragedy, there was an outpouring of grief, but also an inspiring display of unity and compassion. People from all walks of life came forward to help the injured, donate blood, and provide solace to those who had lost loved ones. The spirit of the Kumbh, one of shared humanity and collective spiritual striving, shone through the darkness.